So I've been lost in the woods for a couple days. I'm like freaking out, man. I feel like I'm being watched and oh god! Oh shit! Don't go into the woods at 12 p.m. on a Sunday. Or you might run into this.
Okay. This has taken a lot more setup than intended, but let's get the show on the road. Okay. From the masked still spirit design in 2019 to the mechanized skull design in 2021, my Four-Stilted Halloween costume has undergone some pretty significant changes over the years, all while maintaining the same forest creature theme I attribute to the druid dryad character I've been playing in Dungeons & Dragons for about as long. After the overwhelming success of last year's costume, I went into 2022 with pretty big aspirations. I wanted to make a brand new stilted costume that combined everything I learned about mechanization and ergonomics from last year's design, one that was ultimately so intensive, I had to postpone it for another year. But in the meantime, I wanted to put some of those principles into action by modifying last year's costume to be more lightweight, mobile, and generally just easier on the spine, which unfortunately meant ditching the very kick-ass mechanized skull that I put so much work into for now. The whole skull neck harness contraption my brother and I put together for last year's costume weighed 15 pounds, the bulk of which was out 3 feet in front of my body and supported entirely by my shoulders, meaning that the tongue weight was actually closer to 3 times that. It was impossible to get around in for more than 15 to 20 minutes at a time, and casting it into a more lightweight material like plastic or carbon fiber was outside of my skill set and budget. But a side note, if this is within your skill set, please contact me, because I would love to see my 2021 costume walk again. But anyways, as much as I loved the look of that costume, it was unreasonably heavy, so I knew that I had to scale back a bit and switch it out for a more lightweight, helmet-mounted mask instead. And thanks to a tutorial project I put out back in January, I had just the thing already on hand. This mask was designed using cardboard as a foundation and covered in pipe insulation foam to give it the appearance of tree roots. After wrapping the whole thing in porous medical tape, I paper-mache'd it using bamboo paper towels and black house paint. Then I went over the whole thing in progressively lighter shades of brown to give it more depth and variation of tone. The helmet is fastened inside using zip ties, although I'm still trying to figure out a more sturdy way to secure it in there that's not going to hurt my neck. I go into a lot more detail into the mask construction in my previous tutorial video, so you should definitely go check that if you want to know more. Since the new helmet-based mask design has absolutely no neck compared to the previous design's 2-foot aluminum weld, I had to create a brand new costume body to accommodate the dimensions, or lack thereof. So instead of a massive foam fortress I literally had to be zip-tied inside of, I opted for more of a turtle shell design so that I could maintain mobility in my shoulders and chest area. Unfortunately, that means that more of those areas are going to have to be exposed, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make to be able to stand up and rest my back when I need to. One of the most exciting features I wanted to show off here was how I approached rooting the mane. In previous costumes, I used pre-arranged grass skirts from the dollar store, but this year I actually dyed and arranged all of the raffia fibers entirely from scratch, and I had to figure out a brand new way to attach them to the costume too. After I tied a few raffia fibers together, I stabbed holes into the costume body with a dental tool and then rooted the raffia into the foam surface, similar to rerooting hair in a doll head. With a little bit of Gorilla Glue to help with the hairstyling hold, I was able to get the raffia fibers to stand up a little bit along the spine, kind of like a striped hyena. Finally, all that was left to do was incorporate the stilts. I was thankfully able to reuse the same ones from last year's costume, so all I really had to do was make a few repairs to prevent the top-heavy foam hips from flopping over on themselves. I'm still trying to come up with a solution for that, but I found that corrugated plastic sewn in with yarn seems to be doing the trick so far. I'm going to interrupt myself right there because I recorded that last part 2 weeks ago, and that solution didn't work either. In a last-ditch effort, my brother installed aluminum poles into each stilt, secured by, you guessed it, more zip ties, which should hopefully get me through at least through this Halloween. That's all I wanted to add, so enjoy the montage.
Behind you. Right.
Altogether, that makes my Four-Stilted Forest Creature 3.0. If you have any questions or want more detailed explanations about any part of this process, please just leave a comment and I would be happy to provide guidance. Maybe even make a whole video tutorial addressing your artistic inquiries. I'm so excited about what's in development for Halloween 2023, so be sure to hit subscribe to stay in the loop on the next big project. Thank you for watching and have a happy Halloween.